Well, good morning, my friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm Kate in a Nest, and this is my first video from not being in my nest. Indeed, I am in the beautiful country of the long white cloud, which is New Zealand, and I'm actually in Wellington. And for that reason, my nest looks different, but we know that home is wherever the heart is, and I have brought a nest with me that you've seen before, and this little nest is going to be with me over the next 5 days as we start our Green Door on tour experience here in Wellington. So Zoe, Missy, Christian and I flew over yesterday, and there were others on the plane from Australia, and most arrived today, and we actually start our experience at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm a little husky because it is the day after travel. I've had a huge week, so apologies for not doing a single video, I think, in a week, which is really unusual for me. But that was because I'm doing a temporary day job, which I just realized I couldn't film and travel and work at the same time. So this is glorious. Now, I need to check in with you because lots and lots of things happen in a week. So what happened? I hope that you are well, and I hope that today you get some time, or whenever you're watching this, you are having some time to stitch, make, journal, or whatever you most like to do. So just checking, this is the hotel table, and I haven't put a tablecloth down. I hope it's not too glary, but let's get on with it. So I have bought some of my hand-dyed wool with me. I've got some wool, I've got some cotton, and this is just going to be my basic nest. I retrieved my lovely pink scissors out of my carry-on luggage. So we're going to go a little all over the place and hope that you're interested, or as I always say, this is just a chat along in the background while you do what you love. Okay, so that is my kit while I'm here. On the plane, I did take my horsewhip, and I've taken the brooch off, but this worked so well. Would you believe that after all of my showing you that I actually forgot to put my travel snips in, but I did have my dental floss. So for those of you who may not know this trick, this works perfectly well on a plane as the snip for your threads. So that worked perfectly. I had it beside me on the tray table, etc. So little pin cushion, pins and needles and threads, easily accessible. So a very versatile horsewhip that I love as a piece, and functional at the same time. So that's that. I'll try and build up some color. When I was on the plane, I got to sit beside the gorgeous Missy from Missy Made This, and I worked on this flower that I don't think I even stitched it with you. This is from Manon's beautiful photography book of florals, and it was my first time doing a really big photo, and I used, what's it called, that paper that you drew, it's like plastic, starts with S, you'll be saying it, and then it dissolves. So anyway, sitting on the plane with Missy, she said, why have you got that under there? And I had almost forgotten, and the reason was I couldn't draw it on the linen. I've overnight done some more work, and there's enough shape there for me now to keep embroidering that. Now Fleur is coming on Tuesday, so I'll have even more influence of Fleur in my work. So that was my plain piece. And again, as I always am learning as we go in our car trips or train trips or planes, that was a perfect little project piece because it just slipped in there and I had my threads in there, and I didn't need a whole bag of Stitchy Witchies. So, of projects. So that came out. This is how this is looking on the back. I love that little frill there. So, where are we up to? I've got my nest. I've got horsewhip and bits in it. Last night I was tired, so I picked up this piece, which was my Wellington pouch, which I've really lost track of what I showed you. What I have to admit is that I did not get up to putting the zipper in. I spent some time with my mum in Sydney on Thursday briefly, and I have photos and a little video of her teaching me how to put a zip in, but I didn't get time before we flew to do that. So at the moment I have my lining, which is making me happy and I hope brings you joy. And even while I'm here, I thought I actually have an idea that I would like to outline some of these beautiful florals on the inside so it's got texture. I can always put in a zip when I go home, but there she is for the moment, with lots of gardening still to do, but the texture is really comforting, and this piece will fit easily in her. So there we go. Wellington, pouch, and horsewhip. The third piece never came. Oh, sorry, out of context. I was going to make a third piece, but I didn't get the time. And so it's a very real view. One of the challenges is in my style of work, when we do lots of collage, when you are out of your nest or your studio, how do you take that with you? Well, I'm still learning, but this is the I look at it and go, oh my gosh, how did I even I don't think I even decided. I just grabbed bits that were on my nest. You will have seen all of these before. A little bit of my 50s bed jacket. Now we can only see the round neck and down the button side, but that's a good piece. It's nice and crinkled without lining. So that is fodder or resources. Another piece of the quilt that I got from Beck. And this is why, you know, they are gifts that keep on giving. So I'm very grateful that when I get a piece in my style of work, I can use it in multiple pieces, and I remember every time. So I'm a storyteller in collage, not a literal storyteller, but a memory keeper. So I have, you can see it's a pretty pink palette, as in not pretty pink, but lots of pink. I just bought a variety of textures, and many of these, well, not many, but some of these I've used on the horsewhip and the pouch, so I can put them in places. That's the little edging of the lining, and that just as a strip becomes very effective. This is my Indian organic cotton, love, and I've got some blue. This is a little piece of the applique that originally was on here. I put the 2 on to make 3 flowers, but it wasn't right, so she's been snipped. And just there, a little bit of dangle, a bit of, these are one of my mini makes. This is, I put this piece on and off about 3 pieces yet, but there she is. This one was on the pouch, I think, and is off. More chenille, a bit, oh, I'm glad I bought this, I didn't realize. This is the lace from Mary Walker. And actually Mary is here on our tour, so I'll be able to show her that I dipped in dye when I was dyeing my wools. A few other little bits. More of that. More little tiny appliques. And this is the Ruby Star fabric that I showed you. So what are we going to do this morning? Well, I realize, oh, here's a yellow over here as well. Sorry, just saw that. I realize that I haven't yet given the February prompt for the Tote of Hope. So here she is so far, very thick with, just check that you can see that, very, very thick with embroidery and all covered. So it is, so this is a general video, but just if you've been waiting, and I do apologize to my very loyal kinners who are doing this project, that I haven't got onto it. The good news is February on my tote will be this side. So we're going to go H, O, and you can guess that that's going to be P and E. So we're spelling out hope on every one of the sides. So it'll be hard to show you perspective. But if I move this little pile to here, I've also taken, just for context, I've taken off most of the roosters and the chickens. You'll know if you, I won't take the time to go through all of that. So basically, I said that I would do the month of February different. I tried, like others, to do week by week, but that just doesn't, it is hard for me. And so for that reason, I'm changing it for me, but I hope it might help you. In the first side, we did something starting with H each week. So we did hearts, but ironically the heart that I made in the heart week is not on here, and two other hearts are, we did a flower starting with H. So I have my hibiscus section there. Better just check that you can see that, the hibiscus, and forgotten the name for sunflower, that, or is it the daisy that starts with H? So I've got lots of daisies on, but they came not in the week that I said H. What else did we have? Words of hope. And because I've gone to a roll-on scroll, I didn't bring that. And did I have one thing else? Harmony, hope. Words starting with H. Oh, heirloom, that's right. An heirloom. And again, I've taken off my heirloom brooch to travel. So again, just in case you're coming in and you're going, what is this girl talking about? This is a big tote bag from a well-known store. I've covered it. I love the size, and we're doing a side a month. So that brings me to February. So February is going to be the O in hope and all things related to O. So I'm just going to run through that. There will be a flower on here that starts with O. There will be a color on here that starts with O, and the logical one for me is orange. You might want to use olive or make up a lovely you know, sort of slight word for blue, if that's your color scheme. So you can see also this blanket is orange, so I might leave a little bit. I do like my orange stitching down there. A phrase starting with O, and because this is a tote of hope and going out, I am thinking about words that start with O, like one, you know, we are one, or optimistic. So generally a color starting with O, a flower starting with O, words or phrases that feature O and blend in with the theme of hope and moving forward. And there's something else, OE, but that will get us going for the first couple of weeks. So because we're already in the first week, maybe we're going into the second week of February. Is jet lag a thing when you only have a we've only got 2 hour time difference. So I'm just going to put down it's just after 9ish, I think, here, which is 7 in the morning, which is probably the earliest in the morning that I have ever filmed or stitched, and I'm sure you will understand. Which makes me think of you. Like, when do you like getting up? Are you an early bird? And do you stitch when you wake up? On a Sunday, that is my absolute joy, to stay in bed and stitch. So I've translated my joy into, talking to you, my friends, on a Sunday morning. Okay, I didn't show you this before, but this is also part of Mary's lace that when I received it, it was just this color. And like many, many things in vintage, we see that color often. But once dipped in a little bit of dye, it has come out like that. And I've used it on my Huswith as a standalone flower, which I'm working on. So whether you have access to vintage pieces and, you know, a variety, or just even one piece, just look at it with new eyes and say to yourself, can I use that? What can I do with that piece to make it tell a story? So I'm nearly ready to start after all that yabbering on. But I did want to show you something. When we arrived yesterday afternoon, of course, we were discombobulated with the time, and we thought after travel, you just need a night in your room stitching, really. And Missy, Zoe, and I discovered that there was a convenience store literally 2 minutes away, so on our Google Maps. So we set out to go to buy just some basic things that we could eat separately in our room for dinner. And that was the plan. But of course, we stepped out of the hotel, and across the street was a shop that we thought, oh, that looks gorgeous, but it's not open. It was called Little Acorn, and I can show you more about that because I'm sure I'll go back in again. But then we went round the side, and Missy goes, it's open. Zoe, it's open, it's open. So we went in. Now, I'm trying to resist spending money, and as you know, I rarely buy anything new. But it seemed to me that when I saw this little, I don't know what you would call this, is it a napkin? It is the Society of Wanderers, which is the most amazing French flax linen. You can see that. It isn't cheap, but it lasts for a lifetime. I saw this though, and I was thinking of my Tote of Hope, and I thought, that's meant to be. And I said to the girls, I'm going to use that this very night. Well, I didn't use it last night, but I've saved it for you. So I'm going to use this as the base fabric for my side of the kin tote. And I'm going to leave that Society of Wanderers on because for me, it's just coming to me now, and I didn't even think about it at the time. That's what we are, and that is the Tote of Hope, is that this piece is going to travel with me and be worked on. So look, there's a story without you even knowing. I doubt it's beautiful in it. It's not going to tear, except I'm in the tag now. Oh, it is. have I just ruined that by taking that tag off? Oh no. So I want that little tab to stay, and it needs to be seen. So maybe it has to come down a little way. And you can see already that this is going to get lots and lots of different pieces out of it. Can you see what I'm doing? So there we are. So if you're you want to do collage and you're not quite sure where to start, you know, sometimes just finding a fabric that's going to be the theme, and you don't always have to buy new. And as I said, this is a story of where I go. So I've invested, if you like, in this piece, but I absolutely adore it, and I know how much I will use it. So I can see that time is already flying, and I'm not sure of how long this is going to take, but just to get us started, I've left the stitched edge on there so that it becomes a little sort of frill and an introduction, a segue into the other side. So that's that part. I've got the green up there, and I left that because I've got this, you know, my little vintage collar there, and the idea is that this piece wraps all the way around. So it's a continuing journey. So it started on H for hope, is going over O for the O in hope, and then it will frill onto that side. So there we are. And what next? So I've got that. I am thinking, oh, while we're on that one piece of fabric, I looked at this orange, these big orange blooms. There's a plain orange there, or there's this one that attracts me straight off. Is it orange? My eyes are going funny. Is it orange? Yeah, it is. Orange in a darker color, which would be nice to embroider. I'm just putting them over because I'll separate out, but I'd like to use one of those blooms. But let's just take this little corner. As the idea for a flower that I can thread paint is the word that I was after. And again, if you have a base fabric that's got florals on it, these are the opportunities that come forth. All right, so that would need to go somewhere where it could be seen, and that might even be an idea that we put that up there. It is the same fabric. We have the green underneath there, and it's already going around the corner. And this is why I'm saying to you, do not feel that you need to wait for me on your Tote of Hope. And if the creative spirit wants to lead you on to one of the other sides, just do it. So for the month of February, we're doing the O side, and it can lead you anywhere you want. So this isn't going to be a long one, but I'm just thinking of stories to tell. I will have to use a bit of Mary's. So even though I've said orange, that can be just one flower. I'll have to use a bit of this fabric from Mary because she is here on this workshop. I'm going to cut that little bit out, And I'm thinking that could be a nice little frill somewhere, like a little flower. In fact, I like that. And if you're new to watching my channel, just see things like that. I'm not purposely different from others, but you know, it's a different thing that you see sometimes here, because I'm not able to plan. I think I will save that for the other side. So it's a process of elimination. Because this is so beautiful and floral, maybe actually the emphasis of this side is very much thread painting. Maybe I like that idea because it's skinny, and rather than overwhelm, actually, I really like that idea. So this is my New Zealand side, opportunity, and because I bought this here in Wellington, it can be what I work on. And I'm wondering if that little bit there, see, I've almost planned out the side just because I started talking to you about not being able to plan. If I put that little bit of a mini make there, it's already thickened up the base. I could, there's my little Indian flower. I'm covering up that. And that would be a waste. Actually, I'm going to think it's such beautiful fabric. I don't want to cover it up much. So if I take this out, oh, look, I've got peekaboo orange there with the seam and the orange. Okay. I planned it in a short time. Maybe I should film at whatever time it is more often. So I might, and we'll see. I could change my mind and put a little flower. In fact, I probably will. I did have that one single orange flower. You know, something like that to blend the garden and add some more texture. But I've got lots of time for that. So I think we'll stop there, because can you hear how you've woken me up? Thank you. Like, as I say, my YouTube is because I'm stitching and making, and I love sharing it, and talking out loud is actually a fantastic help for me. So we've been everywhere. This is the O side of my Tote of Hope. You've seen my little horsewhip, my pouch. So whatever you are working on, be encouraged, enjoy. I think I'll save that for the other side. See, can't stop myself, but I have things to do, like have a cup of coffee and wake up. So until next time, and I have bought, see, I actually knew that I would be enjoying this trip so much that I bought my filming apparatus. So you don't have to put up with me going like that. So thank you. Have a great day. I appreciate your company so much. So until next time, this is Kate in a nest, not in her nest, but in Wellington, New Zealand. Have a wonderful time and take care. Bye.